Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Pagan Perspective. I am Dilliya, and I am covering for Tara on Tuesday, and you will see Tara on my usual Saturday slot for Subs Week here on Pagan Perspective. Okay, this week's topic comes from firetamer. This person asks, in Chinese, or states, in Chinese mythology, many mortals become a deity after death, with a well-known example being Guan Yu. Another good example would be Tu Er Shen, along with the many city gods who have once been a mortal but become a deity after death. And he asks, this person asks, I'm sorry, you could be a girl, what are your thoughts on the average person having a potential of becoming deity? And the first thing that came to mind was the video game for PlayStation, Dynasty Warriors. And if you've ever played this game, you'll know what I'm talking about, because you learn all about Cao Cao and Liu Bei and Guan Yu fighting yellow turbans or something. They do something. I got very dizzy playing that game because it was very confusing. I never knew where my character was or who I was supposed to be doing. I just couldn't figure it out. But my husband enjoys playing that game very much. So with the whole concept of people becoming deity isn't that far-fetched in a lot of cultures. And the personification of becoming a true god is valid, I feel. There are many individuals in very many different faiths that become some type of personification of godlike status. That being Guan Yu, having fought so much to... oh gosh, it was years that they had fought with Cao Cao and Liu Bei fighting against each other, but Cao Cao had a serious respect, a deep respect for Guan Yu, and after his death wanted his body or head or something returned to such and such so that he would become a deity. You also see this happen in a lot of the Catholic religion. Many people become a saint. They might not believe that it's so much as a god-like status, but it kind of is, because these individuals have been able to perform some type of saint-like feat, which has led them to be considered a saint, giving them all their own little status to worship. And again, we see this in the Christian faith, where the man Jesus Christ had been a man personified to a god. And so it's... there was a great discussion I was having with my husband and his friend, which he's home now. I'm going to be able to ask him who it was we were talking about, that kind of fit this whole category of discussion, and so I'll be able to talk about that here shortly. Any type of deity that man has created or invented to go along with helpful need towards a psychological end. You know, Odin might not have truly rode around on his 8-legged stallion, deciding man's fate, who would live and who would die over the winter months. It's psychologically, I can look at it as you need to take care during the spring, summer, and fall months to prepare yourself to survive the winter. If you don't survive the winter, you die. So it's very much so where a deity has been brought in to show some type of end result. Just one second and I'll try to figure out if I can see who we were talking about. Okay. The Aztec culture, more warlike, other than the Mayans being very peaceful sect, tribal group, the Aztecs were more of a warlike group. And if they had a foe during battle that they felt battled honorably, or with which needed to honor them, battled honorably, if the Aztec individual that had killed this other foe, if they felt some type of respect or need for honor, they would cannibalize their foe. In doing so, ingesting, taking into themselves that essence of an honorable foe. Also, taking their young, or in their teachings, would prepare individuals for knowing that someday you have a special part to play in the role of deity. So you are going to be taken up to the mountains and drugged and left to die.
So now they did it in the like the gentlest way possible. They had a lot of respect.
It was very gentle, yes. It was very respectful.
They drugged them first. They gave them very little clothing so they wouldn't feel the cold.
Mm-hmm.
They took them up there, and if it was taking too long and the drugs started to wear off, they usually stuck them in the back of the skull too, so they wouldn't feel it. It was just over with.
Over and done in the most humane way that they could. Yeah, exactly. So that there was a great respect and honor involved in the decision to sacrifice this individual for deity. So it's done in a lot of different cultures where a person's death turns into a godlike status. Hercules is another one. Very similar storyline to Jesus Christ, being a son of God, having abilities beyond that of normal man, and so forth, becoming godlike in status. There is a movie on Netflix. If you are subscribed to Netflix, go ahead and check it out. I think it's still on the instant streaming for this movie about Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Cao Cao called Assassins. You can go check that out. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I know it's about the whole Liu Bei, Guan Yu, Cao Cao battles. And the what was that called with the Guan Yu, the Temple of the Four Kingdoms or something?
Romance of the Five Kingdoms or something?
Romance of the Five Kingdoms, Romance of the Four Kingdoms. I forget.
It was, I believe, five.
The five.
It was split up into five before Japan was turned into one.
Yeah, so yeah, being the area there being split up into five kingdoms. So yeah, that would be informative. Plus there's books about the Romance of the Five Kingdoms that you can also check out. Yeah. It's pretty cool stuff. I mean, even our own ideas and one's own ideas and beliefs in nature. Being able to personify the harvest as a godlike, the growing of the flowers during spring, having flora representation towards the goddess having created or protecting the harvest, creating the flowers, and not so much creating the flowers. She eventually became a goddess that was affiliated with the certain flowers and plants, but there was, before that, she had become an idea, a concept to ward off a rust-like fungus which was growing on the crops. So that's a pretty interesting idea of study that you can do there. Gosh, I wish I had some more cool, mind-blowing stuff to share with you guys, but I kind of don't. It's been such a great weekend. We had summer solstice on Friday, and then we had the supermoon on the 23rd. That was intense. It was, I'm still super feeling it. It's such a beautiful day. Here, let me share it with you. We have a lot of sunshine right now, and just beauty all around us. The clouds are still up there, and we actually had a lot of rain the last 2 days, and the weather is super warm right now, but it's got such a gentle breeze of cool coming through. It's really nice. I mean, I'm loving it. So I hope everyone else's weekend was awesome, no matter what you did or how you did what. Just, you know, peace to everybody, and love and energy. So yeah, take care, and you will see Tara on Saturday. Thanks so much. Bye. Can't wait to see what everybody else has to say.